So, this is going to be the tech test for the pilot. Yeah, this is a lot of levels of meta of the... Shit, I've already lost my words. This is a good start, right? So this is going to be the tech test of the pilot for Cosplay Craft Attack, where I will be challenged with making something cosplay related every week. And it's going to be hell. I'm going to hate it. I hate you, Jess. Jess, this is all your fault for coming up with an idea to actually have an idea. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love seeing me hate myself, aren't you? Cheesy smile. Okay, so this is going to be essentially... My camera fell down. Should I save this as a blooper reel? I think I should. I need to reframe this. Okay, I am back, and hopefully that's going to work a bit better now. And the camera's not going to fall over again because I've got a cheap shitty tripod and nothing to wrap it around properly. Yeah, I keep looking over at it. I should be looking directly at the camera and looking at you, the viewer, who hopefully will be watching this. Oh god, this is going to be horrendous. But the first thing I'm going to do is do essentially a dry run of the first test. The first challenge will be Solaire's helmet, and what I'm going to do is use this wonderful piece of cardboard here to attempt to make it out of cardboard, kind of, with a rough idea. Oh god, I should have thought this through a bit more. I mean, the main thing is actually to get more of an idea of my camera angles, framing, how to cut between them, having the face cam here, the equalization on my voice, because I've got to have the camera... I've got to have the camera out of the way of the microphone. Yeah, it's the other way around. To actually be able to keep it out of frame so you're not getting distracted by that. But also I'm thinking this view here, that one, aside from being completely off center, actually shows that this is being done in a bedroom. I'm doing it in a bedroom, and hopefully this camera's still recording. I'm going to check that right now so that I'm more of an idea of what the hell I'm doing next time. 2 seconds. Yep, that's still recording. The time-lapse is still recording. You know what, I might actually just keep the time-lapse separately. And that would be quite a good bit of a blooper reel. There, can't word today. So what I'm essentially going to do is chop this cardboard up and try and make a helmet out of it. The other thing I'm going to use is this masking tape. I might also go find a pen at some point. This is going to be horrendous. I just want to die already. And I've been looking at my face, not at the camera, while I've been talking to the camera. That's a good start, right? Oh dear. So the aim is to have the final cut of this be in the region of half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And aim for the final show essentially to be around about an hour, the runtime of a normal TV program without adverts. And basically that'll give chance for us to have my fuck up and my attempt after I've introduced and explained roughly what we're going to do, and then have the expert come in at the end, well, the latter part of the episode, and discuss things that could have been done better, the way they would have done it, praise and or critique, mostly critique. They're going to roast the shit out of me. Actually, you know what I'm also going to do? I'm going to find a way to bleep out when I swear. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be the running gag. I might bleep out other random words as well. Okay. So, hopefully without knocking the camera over again, I am going to take a rough guess at the sizes this is going to need to be. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take a guess. I'm going to budget in terms of some of the things. I've already lost my tape measure. Christ. Where the hell would my tape measure be? It's there, it's on top of the computer. I know where it is. What I'm going to do is measure around my head, and then when it comes to the real thing, I'm going to pretend I didn't already do this. So going loose to give myself a bit of room, bit of wiggle room. 60 centimeters. It's about right because I know that my head is actually 58 centimeters because that's the size of hat I wear. I know that because of cosplay already. I keep staring at my face, not at the camera. I'm not very good at this. Not yet. It scares me that I might become good at this. Help. Send help. So I'm not actually going to use references, which I would normally. In the final cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pictures of the original work into the discussion here. And then I'm also probably going to randomly put up discussions like that wherever they are. So what I'm going to do now is measure out 30 centimeters, i.e. half of my head, and I'm going to cut it out. So 30 centimeters, and I'm going to use the camera. Call that 35, and then I can cut it down later if I want to. Yeah, let's go with that. 35, I don't have a pen or anything. So we're going to do this way the old school. And this is where you are going to notice in the present. I'm not very fucking good at this shit. Seriously, this is not one of my skills. Although if this all goes well, it might become one. I'm actually going to use this and just sort of chat a little bit about the process of what I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, my thought process behind it, what I'm hoping to achieve, what I'm hoping to not achieve, i.e. not cutting myself the fuck up. And that's another one where I'm going to bleep it out. Yeah, I'm going to say a lot. So if we just very quickly curl this bit. Okay, so I think from this, it's going to need to be bigger on the other half. Because this could be the back section, so if we call the front, if we do the front the full width, we might have half a chance at this actually being sized somewhat right. So rather than using a pen to mark, which I should be doing, I'm just going to use the actual knife to cut the mark in. And then I'm going to cut it from here, down from the mark, making sure to keep my fingers well out of reach. Do you see? Fingers out of reach. Also putting a finger across the back because I do know how to use a Stanley knife. One of the few goddamn things I do know. I may actually change tool at a later date, depending. I do have some scalpel blades knocking around, which tend to be better for getting fine work done, but there's no guarantees that that will ever work. So I'm going to try and keep this in view of the actual camera here, and just curl it over again so it'll fit round my fat head, because my head is fat. So with this curled over the back here, this is going to stop me being able to actually... Oh, no it's not. Yeah, it is. It might fit. It might not. There might be some patching involved. But you live and you learn, eh? Right. Of course, first thing to do would be measure my eye level. carefully score it because I don't have a pen on me at the moment. Well, that was really close actually. That was perfect. Center that. Yeah, so unfortunately what I am going to be doing is I am actually going to be freehanding this because the main purpose of this recording is just to get an idea of the tech. The recording itself is more just to get the camera angles and see how they all work. Hopefully hopefully, I'm going to ramble a bit, cut all this up. I may or may not keep this rambling, depending on how it goes. Okay, so that needs to be a bit wider. The only problem is talking while doing this, without having someone to talk to and bounce conversation off, isn't the easiest thing to do in the world, actually. It's bloody difficult, so I'm going to have to work on that. There's about the right sort of eye-opening there. So, you probably can't hear me very well because my mouth is covered. Because my face is covered. But that shows that it's roughly in the right sort of place. So I don't actually have a reference photo with me. Because, as I said, just a bit of a test. But what I am going to do is I am going to repeat things. So, this is the top. This is the bottom. And I'm filling in for the fact that I don't have a pen by being gentle with the Stanley knife. See how I didn't cut all the way through there? Or there? I'm good like that. Right, so top and bottom. If I remember right, there was no mouth section. There was, however, a section coming up here. So what I'm going to do is move that out of the way. Quickly cut a chunk that I will then cut down more. Because unfortunately this piece isn't actually going to be long enough. And the question is, do I talk to the camera while I'm saying stuff like that, or do I not? Because I could not. What I certainly should try and do is not knock the camera tripod over. That would be bad form on my part. So, just going to use an old little technique I learned of making double-sided tape when you don't have any, which is to make a roll, you press it down, and you've got a really crap version of double-sided tape. So hopefully it won't come across that I've done much cosplay building before, because I haven't. I'm just naturally quite good at stuff like this. I actually trained as a tiler and an engineer. So, I mean, you'd fucking hope I'd be good at some. Okay. So, as you can see, this has got essentially the nose bridge there. I know it's not quite right, but we're going to fix that with just a section here where I'm going to unfortunately, the lockout on this Stanley knife isn't very good, so it keeps disconnecting itself. Yeah, I'm kind of running out of things to talk about right now. I also want to try and pay attention to what I'm doing so I don't chop my fingers off. That would be pretty poor form. It also wouldn't be YouTube advertiser guideline friendly, I don't imagine. As far as I know, most advertisers aren't fans of gore. Except any advertiser that has anything to do with the UFC, but, you know. Yay, more blood fighting. I'm going to try not to bitch about too many things while I actually do the real things. And if I do, I'm going to cut most of it out. Because I'm also going to record an overdub of all of this crap once I'm done. So the final version will... well, final. The actual attempt will be done using foam, which I have in my car at the moment. I didn't want to waste it on just a tech test like this, because I don't really have the time at the moment to wait for more to get delivered, unfortunately. Otherwise I would be testing it with that, just so I could get a guaranteed idea of colours and things like that. But, I mean, you live and you learn, and I've learned that I left this too late, and it is that simple. So, we're just going to roll this up, get these last two little bits stuck on to create the effect around it. So once again, I'm just using the masking tape, paper tape as you may know it, to create a bodge version of double-sided tape. I do also have electrical tape and gaffer tape knocking around, but I don't think either of them would do particularly well on this job. I hate that little strand of hair. So what I'm going to attempt to do is, when I'm working with my hands here and doing things, I'm going to cut to the other camera, the one that's pointed at the hands, and when I'm actually talking at the camera, I am going to cut to that, because then you have to see my face, and if I have to suffer, so do you. Right. So what we have now is the start of the face. Actually, it's most of it at this point, because I'm not going to do a huge amount more, because we're getting to about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. 1 minute gives me 2. I will do a lot of mumbling where I don't know what I'm doing and I'm trying to work things out. Gonna do a lot of that. So what we have in theory is the front and the back. I would also do a neck piece and a top, but that'll be easier with foam, and I don't really have the time or energy to bother right now, because I've also got to try and edit this before Wednesday meeting. So I've only got maybe 2 hours tonight. No, not even that. An hour and a half. So what I'll do is I'll get everything synced up and see where we go from there. Okay, good. So I'm just gonna very quickly attach these two pieces. I'm gonna put the knife away because I'm a responsible person. Do you see? The knife is away now, because I am so responsible. Responsible for stupidity. Sorry, who said what? So just a bit of tape on that side. Piece in the middle, pressing it down roughly. Piece of tape at the back. Do 2 sections there actually. Once again, top, middle, bottom. Yep, that's the right around. And I'm going to use a little trick I learned from Snow when it comes to putting cables down and tying them down. fucking missed a course, didn't I? So that may or may not survive to the final edit of the audio. We'll see. Yeah, so if you can see, this will now do that. And I have a tube helmet, which I will need to cut out at the back actually, because of my shoulders. Right, okay, so I'm going to repeat that, but on the other side, because that's how you do things when you repeat them. You do them on the other side, hopefully. Doing them on the same side, you're probably fucked up somewhere. The place you fucked up is doing cosplay, because cosplay is pain. And now I'm guessing what you can see on... Oh, that's convenient. It's now dark enough outside that my window has become a mirror, so I can see what's going on in my hand camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take both sides of this first, so I can try and keep it pressed out and keep roughly the sizes and shapes I already have. Unfortunately, I now realise it was pointed too far down, so you can't actually see what I'm doing up here. You can see the movement right here, but that teaches me. What I need to do is point it up a bit. Try and keep it roughly level. Yep, so now you can see what I'm doing on the top here. What I'm going to do is put this down here at the bottom, and I'll put another one on the inside of the bottom, and I will basically goof it, because you can see inside there. I think what I'm actually going to have to do is set up the other light, but lower down, because you really just can't see enough in here to get what I'm on about, as if anyone would understand what I was on about. Continued mumbling. Okay, so this side is a lot less neat, as it's difficult to do it on this side, but there you have it, a mostly completed helmet. The mirroring on that is difficult to understand. Yeah, so I think there might be an audio problem with this. You may also be able to hear my beard is scratching at it. This isn't very good, is it? But it works as a tech test.